Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Thar between the red team in the upper left. It is SecruitC in the Void Striker and Frexion in the Raptor Neo. And their opponents, the Carbon team in the bottom right, it is Mites in the Classic Paladin and Akharn in the Classic Neo. I've actually been watching a lot of games, just randomly spectating them. Featuring Mites and Akharn, and they've been tearing it up. They have good teamwork. They are probably not like in the top levels of skill, but their teamwork is actually really good. They stay consistent with their mechs, and I really appreciate basically their communication, is from what I can tell. Frexion and SecruitC, I think at the very least Frexion currently is very well known as a very high tier player, and SecruitC is actually an old returning player that has I know he has like 3 green stars. He posts a lot. He used to post a lot of videos. So yeah, I really do like to see experienced players returning to the game, and it does look like Akharn, doing the really quick initial harass, was able to kill 1 creep, so it will be able to get a delay in that initial outpost capture. But three what are those called, flackers out on the field really quick by the red team, so forcing Akharn to pull back, and 3 flackers of his own. It does look like we will see Frexion do some scouting, but does spot those flackers, and will he be caught by the stasis blast of Akharn? No, he does not get caught, but he's really low on health, forced to boost through mid, and tons of neutral units. Akharn getting the finish there, and so a death on the red side very early in the game. The Carbon team taking their right outpost a little bit sooner than the red team was able to take their left, and now it does look like Carbon is going for the top left, the top right, the corner, pretty quickly right out of the gate, while Mites takes the bottom left outpost using a couple Geminis here. Frexion and SecruitC over here to do some harass. Does kill a creep wave, so they will deny them a little bit. And Akharn trying to chase SecruitC back, not able to get that finish though, so sometimes you just shouldn't chase when you realize that the opponent will get back to their post in time. If you're familiar enough with map distances and basically you can see how fast you're dealing damage to your opponent, generally you basically would save time by just going somewhere else. You wouldn't, you know. And Frexion again killing another creep wave, so will deny again for a little bit longer. SecruitC trying to knock down a couple creeps, but not, not successful. And Frexion and SecruitC both see these Gemini over here, so forced to pull back is Mites, but does leave Akharn a little bit of time to take this top right outpost under his control, while SecruitC, I think a Gemini was killed. No, one Gemini was just pulled back to here. So okay, Mites and Akharn have actually a fair lead in this game, taking their 3rd post way before SecruitC and Frexion even start taking, or at least start even trying to go for another post. Lots of heavy harass on Frexion, or on the red side. But okay, and now that's a lot of units coming, and Akharn does see that coming, so Mites should probably support him right now. That's probably worth not fighting for this this outpost over here. That's a lot of units coming for the red team, and Mites really needs to come here and spam hammer along with Akharn spamming the stasis blast. Mites actually really low on health, needs to Q heal a little bit, and that is a lot of red units, and both mechs, all 4 mechs actually, are over here shooting away. This outpost will almost definitely go neutral, and there you go. And the red team actually has more unit presence in this corner, so that commitment by the red team, that was basically their entire mobile army getting pushed to this top right outpost. And will all 4 of these jumpers be able to survive? No! Akharn able to finish off 1, and so they will be able to keep it competitive. Frexion coming back with a couple more jumpers, and that is probably going to be able to do it with SecruitC with a supplemental drop as well. Carbon units are firing in, but there are too many infantry over here for the red team, and Akharn forced to pull back. Mites here with 1 more tank, but they do not set it on captures. They are not focusing down the outpost, and there are way too many jumpers being spammed over here. They not only save the outpost from getting neutralized, but they also do damage. But Mites actually getting a kill on Frexion, and the red team is actually losing their foothold on this post. There's so much pressure by the Carbon team over here, and Frexion is not in the game right now, and a neutralization once again happens. There are only 2 Carbon tanks here. It is 19 to 33, heavy upkeep favor on the Carbon team side. but the majority of it is spread out. It's here, here, and a little bit over there. So the red team actually with more jumper drops able to take this back under the control. SecruitC defending over here and distracting the carbon fire over here, and Might's trying to neutralize as best he can and focusing on the units instead of focusing on the neutralization, which is probably not the right way to go. Akharn taking this neutral outpost under his control while the red team has been able to get a pretty good foothold on the top right. Might's Q healing, but needs to boost away and get himself out of there, and probably will not be able to do it, and so low on health, but stays alive for an unbearably long time, to be quite honest. And in the meantime, Akharn gonna do a jumper drop on the left side, but SecruitC very, very quick to respond. Both red players are very, very quick to respond to this cheese attempt, and no conversion is going to happen at all, not even a neutralization by those jumpers dropped by Akharn. But the carbon team has a pretty good foothold on this island. The island is much harder to take than the top right, so at this point in the game, I would probably prefer to be the carbon team. And now the mid fight will begin. Wow, wow, wow. Frexion gonna try to do a jumper cheese over here on the right side. How quick will it be responded to? And another drop over here, but with tanks by SecruitC. No response by the carbon team. Akharn able to snipe a couple of units, but it is definitely not worth their outpost. Mites needs to focus down SecruitC with all those flaggers in the area. That was definitely the right move, and he's able to get the kill there. Will the carbon team be able to get this outpost neutralized? Akharn coming with a bunch of tanks, and Mites with a Tesla tower. They will be able to significantly distract all of the red units in the area. Frexion coming with a few jumpers to reinforce, but I don't think it'll be enough. That is a lot of fire by this carbon team, but okay, more creeps coming from SecruitC. So the red team will hold out for now. Wow, this is quite a lot of units, and basically all the focus on the map, like the majority of the game, has been all in one spot by all four mechs, just like this, and they are 3 jumpers away from getting this neutralized. Okay, but continual infantry spam by Frexion, and SecruitC sorting away at those Longhorn, again not set on capture, so they are not going to focus on that outpost. And on the high ground is probably not the place to put them. You probably want them at the very edge of this low ground, so they can both fire on the tanks and not get harassed from the other side. But in the end of this battle, it does seem like the red team has been able to hold with enough jumper drops. That definitely needs a nerf. Council has, I will let you know that I'm aware that Council has planned a jumper HP nerf, and I think maybe a build time nerf. I forget exactly what the nerf was, but yeah, it's coming. Whenever the next patch comes, whenever AirMech has a patchable state, that's going to happen. But in the meantime, it is 4 outposts to 2 on Thar. The middle outpost has barely been touched, and the red team has firm hold of the carbon team right post. The only post in this game that is on the opposite side of the map that is under enemy control by either side. Now it does look like Akharn is doing a jumper cheese to the top left, which is the least defended post. Will the carbon team be able to, or will the red team be able to respond to this in time? Frexion doing the same thing, but with a couple of brutes and a jumper, so that will work very, very quickly. But Akharn has control of this post. What does he have in build queue to reinforce it? Yes, jumpers and jumpers galore. No bunkering. Okay, there you go. A couple of bunkers there. But Frexion, pretty good control of this outpost. Brute spam like mad. Will be able to hold this post for a very decent amount of time, if not indefinitely. But Akharn now going to go with a couple of drops, forcing the red team to respond to this. That is definitely the way to go if you need to distract the enemy team. And Frexion now coming back. Oh, let's focus on the right guy now. Frexion coming back with 2 Longhorn firing in. No defensive units here on the red team side, but they definitely have the upkeep to spare to build more, whereas the carbon team is nearing theirs. It's 47 out of 64, whereas it is 56, 58 out of 104 for the red team. Akharn definitely needs to hold this. This is probably the only hope that the carbon team has of staying in the game. While actually Mites has been able to neutralize this post. And Akharn abandoning this post, which is probably the correct decision considering the mech response, 2 mechs to 1, is not something that you want to fight against, especially in a game that everyone knows what they're doing. Frexion dropping a couple jumpers, but this will not be able to take the outpost. I think it was only 3 actually, and it will not be able to, a lot of them won't survive the surrounding carbon units. Okay, actually a 4th one apparently was there, but again, too many carbon units in the area. Frexion actually really low on health. The scramble, Frexion Q heals and is able to stay alive, and once again it goes back down to 4 outposts to 2. SecruitC trying to snipe whatever he can, but Akharn is there to respond. Frexion again with the... Okay, the jumper drop's going to be over here, but this is really, really heavily defended. 4 jumpers bunkered and tons of flackers in the area. Akharn is here, and okay, that was bad for Frexion, but able to Q heal. I thought Q heal stops when you take damage, and I could have sworn he was taking damage just there, but I guess I'm wrong. But anyway, it does look like Mites is trying to fight this, the good fight over on the right side over here. 2 T99s to support that he can fall back to, and Honeypot healing him up, but needs to Q heal for sure. Okay, there you go. Almost gets himself killed. That was very, very close. Flacker shots are basically invisible, so you just take damage. You don't really see yourself getting hit, which is one of the things that I really, really, really dislike. I really wish, and I don't know if I've been that vocal about it, but I really wish they've been they could introduce a way to really notice that flak fire, which is basically invisible. You can only see the animation of the units firing, which in my opinion is not enough. Definitely not enough. A couple jumpers being dropped again, but jumpers bunkered and in those latched slots, not gonna be enough. Frexion coming with a couple of gangsters though, that might be enough to get the neutralization. There's nothing here that attacks air. Okay, a single Gemini bot on the opposite corner, but they definitely need to respond to those gangsters. But Frexion with even more being dropped over here. And Akharn actually really low on health. Okay, dang, wow, jumps back to his post right in time. That was basically at the very last possible moment that he could have done that. I could have sworn he was dead right there, but the pressure continues by the red side, and they can afford it because they have 2 more outposts worth of income just to burn credits. They're well ahead of the carbon side right now. It is 70 to 55, which is almost 3 to 2. And Frexion getting finished off by a flacker passing over, trying to get back to that post, which was kind of funny. But actually, Akharn and Mites creating a decent unit cluster over here, and the honeypot able to keep things alive. A second honeypot going down to not only keep that other honeypot alive, but to further reinforce this unit cluster. The T99s, I think, have greater range than the busters, but Frexion here with 3 gangsters and a jumper gonna go for a fort drop actually, so that will definitely pull back one of these mechs. Akharn trying to create a unit cluster over here to push that to push that left side, but gonna be forced to respond to this gangster drop here. Frexion gonna reposition here, doing it a little bit. Oh no, gonna just pull back. Might be a little bit dangerous to fly over all those flackers, but does get back to his post. And the gangsters are going to be blocked, so not really any significant amount of damage against either side here. And the Berthas do go up now. Well, let's see, we're at levels 8, 8, 9, and 9, so nukes might come out anytime soon. Oh no, are nukes 12? I never remember these things because I don't play. I just watch. And right now there are 2 Berthas up as opposed to the 1 for the red team. 2 Berthas up for the carbon team. And the red team, with all the gangsters, able to get a pretty good surround and grab this middle outpost. And more jumpers and creeps are going to go for this bottom outpost, going to be softening up those carbon units. And once again, they can't afford it just because they are now even 1 more outpost ahead. They have 3 additional outposts worth of income against this carbon team. And yeah, the carbon team is basically being forced to play the red team's game now. They need to react to anything that the red team does because the red team can't afford to throw away these credits, the units. And Frexion now pushing the bottom with a bunch of gangsters. Akharn trying to stasis, but the gangsters do so much damage, especially against a low health Neo. Might's trying to get a little bit of damage on with those Blade Guardians and that Paladin Hammer, but these gangsters have so much health that it's very, very difficult to do anything about that. And there you go. The outpost does get neutralized. All the gangsters have been finished off, but the red team, trading like they should be due to their income advantage, can easily make up all those lost gangsters. Basically, those gangsters are like 85% the cost of a tank, so it's a lot. It's a lot that they lost just now. 73 to 52, obviously still in favor of the red team. This has yet to be used, and I think yet to be detected by the red team. I don't know if Akharn forgot about that, but he has pretty much stopped ferrying units over. Okay, there you go. A couple of creeps now. That will be enough. Oh, but they need to not be on move command. They need to not be ahead. Frexion with a tank drop, actually a gangster drop. Might's responding to this, but okay, SecruitC. Okay, see, these even telegraphed. So now SecruitC will. Oh boy. Okay, I was about to fly away, which was weird. And now Frexion coming here to respond to it as well. This outpost will almost definitely get neutralized because the units are focusing on it. Oh no, lots of gangster drops, lots of body blocks, and it does allow Akharn to try to cheese this top right post, but SecruitC with the response, while Mites continues to fight against this bottom post. Trying to chip away at that Gorgon. And the gangster drops continue. Yeah, something probably definitely needs to be done about it. Probably definitely. When I say probably definitely, I mean it, damn it. And SecruitC with another Bertha out, so it does look like the red team will get the slow attrition war victory against that cluster of units that the Carbon team has over there. Again, surprised to not see a generator. Just because for its cost and its utility, it's so valuable to have, regardless of what mech you are, especially if you're doing this, just having a bunch of units here just to sit so they can basically act as a point to fight from. And Akharn, being forced to respond to whatever the red team decides to throw at them. And Frexion, that was just him by himself. I think maybe he had some infantry or something like that. But either way, it's a very low cost for a very high gain for the red team. Anything that they do at this point is... Okay, now the generator comes out. There you go. But there's so many gangsters on the field still for the red team. Akharn trying to cheese the top right. Frexion does see it, though. They are kind of just trying to rely on... I mean, there's not much they can do. So they are basically hoping that the red team does not catch their stealth attempts. But as high tier players as Frexion SecruitC are, they might not be you know, pro and happy death kind of guys, but they are definitely up there, and they will not lag on their minimap awareness. So Mites and Akharn might want to try a different approach here. And certain things like not telegraphing the attack on the left side with those jumpers, that would have played a huge role here. And it does look like the red team is looking for the finish, clustering up their units here at the left, or at mid and at the right side. There's very little defending anywhere else, mostly because they don't need to, and also because it does look like they are planning on finishing the game sometime soon. All these goalies and Gorgons are moving out, and it has not been stopped by the red team quite yet. A roller going out by SecruitC so we can take care of any you know, hidden heavy mines. The only one is actually on the red side here. Oh, hovering over heavy mines don't even bring up their readout. Like this. I can see the number. Anyway, Mites and Akharn gonna try to do whatever defense they can, but there are so many red units over here, and they are all set on attack to focus on the fort that I don't know if they have any real hope. SecruitC ferrying over with afterburners, those goalies on all sides of this outpost, and the Gorgon getting positioned on the outskirts as it should be. SecruitC gonna stop a couple of his units over here. That's kind of interesting. I would think that an all-in, you know, would be preferred here. But now Frexion gonna, I don't know, that was just checking. I guess he was scouting at that point and just decided to drop in stasis because he could. Because you can drop the stasis and boost away with basically no damage unless the entire area is blanketed in hats or gorgons or flackers. Then you don't really have anything to worry about as this, you know, as a transforming, stasising, boosting Neo. Once you got that combination of key presses down, you're pretty much good. The red team can probably finish this with drops, assuming the carbon team does not put a lunchbox up. And actually, this unit cluster over here has survived for mites. He still has a Bertha firing in. He still has both honeypots sitting over there. And SecruitC now going to be dropping a couple of butchers. 52 to 67, so the red team expunged is completely the wrong word, but expended a lot of their army in that push. I don't want to necessarily speak negatively about what the red team did, but I would really want to reinforce the concept of supporting your pushes. A lot of people want to bring more units, you know, they go back so they can reinforce with even more. But, you know, microing your units, keeping them away from enemy fire, getting a good spread once they hit the fort, that is almost incomparable. And now Mites and Akharn have actually got a neutralization on the right side due to their successful defense and the, you know, lightened defenses of the red team on that right side. So they will be able to take that back and start to make a comeback, possibly. Does look like SecruitC is going for, or no, Frexion is going for an outpost push, picking up the goalie so the unified speed doesn't slow it down. So they are going back to the right side, and now we do have nukes coming out. But Mites, oh, does he see it? The beacon is right below that. It does not really, whoa, why are these gangsters not focusing the post? Because they're still on follow? Oh boy, oh boy. So all those gangsters are going to waste now. And the nuke will get dropped, but only... Okay, that's not much. The Gorgon won't even be killed. The Bertha does... Oh no, the Gorgon wasn't at full health. So yeah, boom, dead Gorgon. Oh no, does the Gorgon get killed? Yeah, it does. Never mind, I'm dumb. So nukes do take out Gorgons. They don't take out Goliaths, I believe. They just barely don't. A Devastator already out in the field. Wow. By Mites, I believe, did that. And Frexion getting focused and does get finished by Mites and Akharn on the way out. They might be able to make a comeback. I mean, it's 80 to 34. They have a commanding unit lead. They still are down in outposts, but if they decide to make their moves sometime soon and not allow the red team to replenish their army, then that would be probably, that would be the way to go, I would think, because that's the red team's hope right now. They would either start to drop some units, and SecruitC just constantly making nuke markers, but wants to put it under something that's not visible. Now Mites sees that, so he will start to reallocate his units and reposition them so they will not be in focus of that, or within range of that nuclear missile strike. And there you go. Yeah, has nothing. Just the one Whopper over here, probably. Oh no, the Whopper didn't even get killed. So there you go. Red team able to hold that top right. But again, Carbon has a commanding army lead, so Carbon needs to do something soon before the red team regains an advantage due to their outpost advantage. It's 4 to 3, so it's only a 1 outpost income difference. So, but they do have a 104 upkeep max, and Frexion killing two Whoppers. They did have a 90 upkeep advantage, or not upkeep max, the Carbon side, but now they only have an 84. So the Carbon team waiting will be their downfall right now. But it does look like they are also deciding to play it safer. But if you look around, there is not really anything defended except for mid. So the Carbon team could even do some fort drops. Akharn is socketing more Whoppers because they want to build a larger army, but guys, you have a bigger army already. Even if you go all in, push mid, even through that choke point, my prediction is you would still win it. So that is definitely what I want to see right now. There are a lot of units on the field. I mean, I don't think there are that many in heavy mines. And even though they have a couple defending, like that corner, and they have a lot at fort too, so they definitely have too much defending here. That's way too much. Okay, where is this nuke marker? There you go. And Might's taking that T-99 up. Oh. Okay, I was wrong. That was the... Okay, there was one here. I think there was an explosion over here. But there's another one, so another minute or so whenever the cooldown and reset happens. Okay, Mites with the Devastator, but again, you want to set that on capture, so it focuses the outpost down. So whenever this silo resets, it will fire right about here, and there is, again, isn't really anything to kill. It's not worth the 1 T-99. You want to focus it on a different spot. So the Pepper gets thrown down for some strange reason. Goalie will easily be able to kill that. Okay, now the red team is pushing down. But the Carbon team does see it, and Akharn actually goes down. Oh boy, okay, Might's by himself. Okay, no, they are not pushing that bottom post. They are going for fort. They are going for the kill right now. They are basically all in. There is nothing left on the field for the red team. That is pretty much it. So if this does not get the finish, the Carbon team could easily get the kill on the red team, or like retake all the outposts, because there is nothing defending anywhere else, and the red team's units are already slightly softened up. The front goalies are actually getting killed, and again, you need to support your push. Support your push, guys. Support your push. 1 and 3 on the map. Those are the red players, and they are way far from this push. They need to start ferrying around, and there you go. A couple of gangster drops as well, but again, this is all in. There is nothing left for the red team. So if they don't get the finish, which they are very close to, but Mites and Akharn are body blocking, and the one goalie still has not hit the fort. So, and again, do Mites and Akharn have a lunchbox? Why are they not body blocking that one goalie? Okay, Akharn tried to, but does get killed. And oh man, okay, if they don't have a lunchbox, this game is pretty much over, because the gangster drops exist, and there is a Neo on the red team side, and yeah, so where's the lunchbox? Where's the lunchbox? There it is. There's the lunchbox. They probably want to put 2 or 3 down, to be quite honest. They want to put 2 or 3 down and wall off a little bit. Definitely the corners, and possibly a little bit of the sides. Okay, they are fighting for this. Mites is fighting for this middle outpost. Akharn scouting this top outpost. But yeah, just a single lunchbox down might not be enough considering how low your health is. Okay, and that Neo has thrown down the map block and found a hole. So this needs to be body blocked very quickly by, okay, there you go. They do not get through the lunchbox shield. So this is going to be a drop battle right now by the red team. The red team's going to do anything in their power to get this finish. And dropping on the high ground, SecruitC trying to fire in, but gets himself killed. Frexion here with now a couple of jumpers right at the front door. Will this be enough? No, it does not. Barely gets through the lunchbox shield. The lunchbox will regenerate, or the lunchbox shield will regenerate. Only one more lunchbox down, and the gangsters now firing in. The lunchbox shield has not completely recharged yet, but they want probably all the sockets covered in lunchbox right now, because they have plenty of units, they have plenty of upkeep to work with. And right now, again, another drop of gangsters by SecruitC, but the high ground will be that will not work. No. Okay. He's probably better off dropping it on this cliff, on this ledge over here. But the red team, with the control of mid, I mean, the Carbon team needs to push from anything that's not at fort right now. And the red team will just continually drop here until they are basically out of money. And they still have 3 outposts on the map. So they will not run out of money anytime soon. Now Frexion gonna go for the top outpost for some strange reason. Oh, and SecruitC saying build Goliath and tanks. He's whispering to Frexion right now through the replay. So, I mean, gangsters are probably the way that I would personally choose to go. Or any of the random units that just get free damage, like any air units, but no one brings air units. Okay, they're gonna try to do it through nuke damage. So nukes do damage the fort by a little bit, but they need enough to get through the lunchbox shield, and they need to body block this Goliath right now. Okay, there you go. It is body blocked, and the nuke will get through the lunchbox. Well, I don't know. Will it do enough damage to get through the shield? It will take a chunk off the shield, and they can time their drops. Okay, there you go. So, Mites probably, as the Paladin, wants to stay here and defend, while Akharn uses the units that they have on the field. Like, these need to just be sent right now. Just hit R. Hit R over all of these. And is Akharn doing that? No, he is repositioning them defensively, so they hold the posts. But, basically, if the red team is defending, they are not attacking. They're not dropping. And if they are dropping, they are not defending. So sending these units is pretty much objectively a good decision. Whereas Akharn is doing it the kind of the more traditional way. And he is also going to go for a goalie drop. But that leaves Mites by himself trying to defend against all this stuff. And they are slowly chipping away at the lunchbox shield. So Akharn here with a goalie drop will force the red team to defend, but it's not really that big of a concern for the red team because they have the health to spare. These nukes are going to slowly chip away the lunchbox shield, and they need to reposition this lunchbox right here. Okay, drops by Akharn right now. The pressure is on the red team right now to finish, because that is good. Akharn is trying to take control back of take the control of this game and force the red team to react to their moves instead. Dropped a couple dillos over here, neutralizing that post, and now they are basically cutting off the income of the red team. See, now jumper drops are coming in because the red team does not have the credits to spend in Goliaths or gangsters. They only can pretty much build infantry, which are doing damage, yes, but they are not getting through the lunchbox shield, and they will now lose this middle post. So at the very... Oh man, now that we are nearing the end of this game, I feel, I think the only hope for the red team at this point is to... SecruitC scolding Frexion through Whisper. But yeah, I think the only hope for the red team at this point is to do coordinated, focused drops on this fort. The nuke marker is... Okay, the nuke is not even going to come because the nuke, the missile silo got killed. And SecruitC and Frexion are now being forced to react to the drops of the Carbon team. So, I don't know. Maybe someone can have a hidden cluster or something over here. Maybe Frexion as the Neo can do that. But, number one, they need to get through that lunchbox shield. SecruitC going to be finished off here. The red team able to take this left side back for now. Akharn locking Frexion on the ground with his stasis. But yeah, they are gonna succumb to drops if the red team, or sorry, if the Carbon team keeps it up. This is not doing anything. There's a rock here that needs to move. But anyway, SecruitC trying to take the middle outpost back, and Akharn there with his Blade Guardian Neo to prevent that from happening. We are at 33 minutes into the game, and things are getting really, really tense for me. Whoa, okay. So, okay, he's trying to kill the lunchboxes, but it won't really matter because the Carbon team has so much money and the upkeep to spare that they can just continually rebuild. Honestly, if I was the Carbon team, I would have every single socket with a lunchbox and start focusing your whoppers at different locations. Oh, actually, they are whoppered everywhere. Okay, that one is free. That one is free. All of those two are free. So yeah, they can definitely focus their whoppers somewhere else. But the lunchboxes need to be at this fort. SecruitC with an artillery. Oh, that's genius. Okay, so that will start to pound away, but will it get caught? Yes, it will. that, yeah, it needs to be a Bertha, pretty much. It needs to have the range. Okay, so Frexion able to take and hold this middle outpost for now. Jumpers getting thrown down. You actually would prefer level 4 creeps over jumpers at that point. Level 4 creeps have a ton of health. And Mites scouting, Akharn scouting. They once again have the outpost advantage, or not advantage, but the middle outpost under the control, and it's back to 3 to 4. So the red team with a little bit of income to use. The red team with a little bit of income to use. But where are they going to choose to use it? I personally think that these gangsters are the correct choice, depending on what they have on the loadout. But what I've seen so far, I would probably say gangsters are the best decision, and they need to do a coordinated drop. They definitely need to use the Neo ability to black out minimap. I would say it would be best to time their drop with a Carbon team drop. Once you realize that the Carbon team is on the other side of the map, then you should start to drop on their fort, because they will have a longer reaction time. And Frexion trying to drop on the hole here, but not able to get through that lunchbox shield. Akharn doing a Dillo drop, a stealth Dillo neutralization over here. Has one more Dillo to drop, and this will be able to get the neutralization if the red team doesn't respond immediately. That's a very quick neutralization by Dillos. There you go. Frexion gonna distract those Dillos. But Akharn with another Dillo drop and no lunchbox for the red team. Might still dedicated to doing fort defense and trying to keep the Carbon team alive here. And Gangsters for defense will need to suffice for the red team. A goalie being dropped, but being body blocked. That's the thing about using a single unit. Oh man, the Carbon team even using Whoppers to wall off. I haven't seen that in a long time. And folks, the reason that that's possible is because Whoppers do not, because they increase upkeep, it would be illogical to give them an upkeep. So you can build Whoppers without taking a hit to your upkeep. So it's basically an upkeep free shield. It's not free in terms of credits, but the shield itself will not use your own army supply. And it does look like Akharn will try to get the finish here with 4 Dillos. Probably right at the... Nope, gonna go at the top. Gonna go and make them... Nope. Okay, just gonna get us good surround. And that's probably gonna do it, everybody. Frexion trying to come back here to defend. But SecruitC actually already left. SecruitC has left this game. I think just Alt F4'd. I didn't even realize that happened. But Frexion trying to do whatever he can to defend against this, and that is going to be it. Mites and Akharn taking this 2v2 on Thar over Frexion and SecruitC. I don't even know where to start on Turning Point there. There were so many things that happened in that game. So many, like, points that could have changed the course of the game. But let's go with the obvious. At the very end, you can see how much health that the Carbon team had left. It was, I couldn't even see it. It looked like all lunchbox shield at the end. So, with a little bit more push support, the red team might have been able to do enough damage to either get the finish at that time that they did their kind of all-in push with their Goliaths and their heavy units, or gotten them lower than they did at that point, so that their follow-up after that would have been able to get the finish with those gangster drops and the jumper drops and all that stuff. But Mites and Akharn playing it right at the end there, socketing lunchboxes, making the upkeep free wall, which I have not seen probably in 2 years. That is a first in a long time. Crazy to see that. Crazy, crazy, crazy to see that. Check out my video description. There's a lot of useful information there, including Nullcool's ARM AirMech Replay Manager, which allows you to easily navigate and share your replays with me. More developments to come in the future. Guys, this game was long, but I'm glad I cast it. I have not seen a game like this in a while. Let me know what your favorite part was, what you think the turning points were, and what you think either team could have done to better sway their favor in this game. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.